Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Provide evidence for, stand as proof of, show by one's behavior, attitude, or external attributes. This decision demonstrates his sense of fairness. Give an exhibition of to an interested audience. Establish the validity of something, as by an example, explanation or experiment. The experiment demonstrated the instability of the compound. March in protest. Take part in a demonstration. Thousands demonstrated against globalization during the meeting of the most powerful economic nations in Seattle. Provide evidence for, stand as proof of, show by one's behavior, attitude, or external attributes. His high fever attested to his illness. Give testimony in a court of law. Authenticate, affirm to be true, genuine, or correct, as in an official capacity. I attest this signature. Establish or verify the usage of. This word is not attested until 1993. Provide evidence for, stand as proof of, show by one's behavior, attitude, or external attributes. Guarantee as meeting a certain standard. Authorize officially. Declare legally insane. Guarantee payment on, of checks. Provide evidence for. Provide evidence for, stand as proof of, show by one's behavior, attitude, or external attributes. Give evidence. Your basis for belief or disbelief. Knowledge on which to base belief. The evidence that smoking causes lung cancer is very compelling. An indication that makes something evident. His trembling was evidence of his fear. Law. All the means by which any alleged matter of fact whose truth is investigated at judicial trial is established or disproved. Provide evidence for, stand as proof of, show by one's behavior, attitude, or external attributes. The buildings in Rome manifest a high level of architectural sophistication. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. Manifest disapproval. A customs document listing the contents put on a ship or plane. Record in a ship's manifest. Each passenger must be manifested. Reveal its presence or make an appearance. The ghost manifests each year on the same day. Give an exhibition of to an interested audience. We will demo the new software in Washington. A visual presentation showing how something works. The lecture was accompanied by dramatic demonstrations. To show, make visible or apparent. The Metropolitan Museum is exhibiting Goya's works this month. Something shown to the public. The museum had many exhibits of Oriental art. Give an exhibition of to an interested audience. Walk ostentatiously. An object or statement produced before a court of law and referred to while giving evidence. Show an attribute, property, knowledge, or skill. He exhibits a great talent. Perform, a play, especially on a stage. The period of time that is happening now. Any continuous stretch of time including the moment of speech. That is enough for the present. Give, especially as an honor or reward. Introduce. A verb tense that expresses actions or states at the time of speaking. Represent abstractly, for example in a painting, drawing, or sculpture. Hand over formally. Deliver, a speech, oration, or idea. The commencement speaker presented a forceful speech that impressed the students. Give an exhibition of to an interested audience. Cause to come to know personally. Give as a present. Make a gift of. Bring forward and present to the mind. We presented the arguments to him. Recognize with a gesture prescribed by a military regulation. Assume a prescribed position. Present somebody with something, usually to accuse or criticize. Being or existing in a specified place. The murderer is present in this room. Formally present a debutante, a representative of a country, etc. Something presented as a gift. His tie was a present from his wife. Temporal sense. Intermediate between past and future, now existing or happening or in consideration. The present leader. Provide evidence for. The blood test showed that he was the father. Pretending that something is the case in order to make a good impression. That ceremony is just for show. Take someone to their seats, as in theaters or auditoriums. The usher showed us to our seats. Indicate a certain reading of gauges and instruments. The thermometer showed 13 degrees below zero. Indicate a place, direction, person, or thing, either spatially or figuratively. I showed the customer the glove section. Show in, or as in, a picture. Be or become visible or noticeable. His good upbringing really shows. Something intended to communicate a particular impression. A show of impatience. Give an exhibition of to an interested audience. She shows her dogs frequently. Give expression to. She showed her disappointment. Establish the validity of something, as by an example, explanation or experiment. The mathematician showed the validity of the conjecture. A social event involving a public performance or entertainment. They wanted to see some of the shows on Broadway. Finish third or better in a horse or dog race. He bet $2 on number 6 to show. Give evidence of, as of records. The diary shows his distress that evening. Make visible or noticeable. She showed her talent for cooking. The act of publicly exhibiting or entertaining. A remarkable show of skill. Institute, enact, or establish. Build or establish something abstract. Bring about. The trompe-l'oeil illusion establishes depth. Place. Use as a basis for, found on. Set up or lay the groundwork for. Establish a new department. Establish the validity of something, as by an example, explanation or experiment. Set up or found. Provide evidence for. Cause to puff up with a leaven. Increase in volume. Be shown or be found to be. She proved to be right. Put to the test, as for its quality, or give experimental use to. Establish the validity of something, as by an example, explanation or experiment. Obtain probate of. Prove a will. Prove formally. Demonstrate by a mathematical, formal proof. Take a trial impression of. Establish the validity of something, as by an example, explanation or experiment. Lie adjacent to another or share a boundary. England marches with Scotland. The act of marching, walking with regular steps, especially in a procession of some kind. It was a long march. The month following February and preceding April. March in a procession. Walk ostentatiously. A degree granted for the successful completion of advanced study of architecture. District consisting of the area on either side of a border or boundary of a country or an area. The Welsh marches between England and Wales. Genre of music written for marching. Sousa wrote the best marches. March in protest. Take part in a demonstration. A procession of people walking together. The march went up Fifth Avenue. A steady advance. The march of science. Cause to march or go at a marching pace. They marched the mules into the desert. Force to march. The Japanese marched their prisoners through Manchuria. Walk fast, with regular or measured steps. Walk with a stride. He marched into the classroom and announced the exam. Provide evidence for. Give testimony in a court of law. Provide evidence for. Give testimony in a court of law. Strengthen or make more firm. The witnesses confirmed the victim's account. Establish or strengthen as with new evidence or facts. His story confirmed my doubts. Administer the rite of confirmation to. The children were confirmed in their mother's faith. Make more firm. Support a person for a position. The Senate confirmed the President's candidate for Secretary of Defense. Financial resources provided to make some project possible. The Foundation provided support for the experiment. Argue or speak in defense of. She supported the motion to strike. Put up with something or somebody unpleasant. A military operation, often involving new supplies of men and materiel, to strengthen a military force or aid in the performance of its mission. They called for artillery support. Be the physical support of, carry the weight of. He supported me with one hand while I balanced on the beam. Adopt as a belief. The financial means whereby one lives. He applied to the state for support. A musical part, vocal or instrumental, that supports or provides background for other musical parts. The act of bearing the weight of or strengthening. He leaned against the wall for support. Be a regular customer or client of. Documentary validation. The strongest support for this view is the work of Jones. Establish or strengthen as with new evidence or facts. The evidence supports the defendant. Be behind. Approve of. Support with evidence or authority or make more certain or confirm. Give moral or psychological support, aid, or courage to. She supported him during the illness. aiding the cause or policy or interests of. The president no longer has the support of his own party. Any device that bears the weight of another thing. There was no place to attach supports for a shelf. Play a subordinate role to another performer. Olivier supported Gielgud beautifully in the second act. Something providing immaterial assistance to a person or cause or interest. The policy found little public support. Supporting structure that holds up or provides a foundation. The statue stood on a marble support. Support materially or financially. He does not support his natural children. The activity of providing for or maintaining by supplying with money or necessities. His support kept the family together. Give evidence for. Establish or strengthen as with new evidence or facts. Support with evidence or authority or make more certain or confirm. Make real or concrete. Give reality or substance to. Our ideas must be substantiated into actions. Establish or strengthen as with new evidence or facts. Represent in bodily form. The painting substantiates the feelings of the artist. Solidify, firm, or strengthen. The president's trip will substantiate good relations with the former enemy country. To declare or affirm solemnly and formally as true. Establish or strengthen as with new evidence or facts. Say yes to. Lengthen or extend in duration or space. We sustained the diplomatic negotiations as long as possible. Undergo, as of injuries and illnesses. Be the physical support of, carry the weight of. Provide with nourishment. We sustained ourselves on bread and water. Supply with necessities and support. She alone sustained her family. Establish or strengthen as with new evidence or facts. Admit as valid. The court sustained the motion. Stand up or offer resistance to somebody or something. Resist immunologically the introduction of some foreign tissue or organ. Withstand the force of something. The trees resisted her. Elude, especially in a baffling way. Express opposition through action or words. Refuse to comply. The act of protesting. A public, often organized, manifestation of dissent. Express opposition through action or words. A formal and solemn declaration of objection. They finished the game under protest to the league president. Affirm or avow formally or solemnly. The suspect protested his innocence. The act of making a strong public expression of disagreement and disapproval. He shouted his protests at the umpire. Utter words of protest. Be of different opinions. The act of protesting. A public, often organized, manifestation of dissent. Express opposition through action or words. Dissent to the laws of the country. A difference of opinion. Law. The difference of one judge's opinion from that of the majority. He expressed his dissent in a contrary opinion. Withhold assent. Several Republicans dissented. Authenticate as a notary. We had to have the signature notarized. Establish the authenticity of something. Pronounce a sentence on somebody in a court of law. He was condemned to 10 years in prison. Express strong disapproval of. We condemn the racism in South Africa. Appropriate property for public use. The county condemned the land to build a highway. Compel or force into a particular state or activity. His devotion to his sick wife condemned him to a lonely existence. Declare or judge unfit for use or habitation. The building was condemned by the inspector. Demonstrate the guilt of someone. Her strange behavior condemned her. Authenticate as a notary. Be bright by reflecting or casting light. Drive carefully, the wet road reflects. Reflect deeply on a subject. To throw or bend back, from a surface. Sound is reflected well in this auditorium. Give evidence of a certain behavior. His lack of interest in the project reflects badly on him. Give evidence of the quality of. The mess in his dorm room reflects on the student. Manifest or bring back. This action reflects his true beliefs. Show an image of. Her sunglasses reflected his image. Earn as a salary or wage. Make understandable and clear. Deprive of strength or efficiency. Make useless or worthless. Cause to appear foolish. Prove to be of unsound mind or demonstrate someone's incompetence. Nobody is legally allowed to stultify himself.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.